So my name is Bill Kopsky. I'm the director of the Arkansas Public Policy Panel and treasurer for the Ballot Question Committee for our kids. The panel was founded in 1963 by moms of school-age kids working on desegregation of public schools, and we've worked for 61 years on making sure every child in Arkansas has access to high-quality education, and that's the work that we still continue to do. We represent thousands of members across the state of Arkansas, our parents, teachers, all walks of life, who care passionately about the education of their children and of their own communities. So that's where we come from. For me, I'm a father of 2 boys in public schools. I'm a youth soccer coach, so in the soccer, I've been the president of 2 different PTAs. I'm very active in my community, as is my wife. And I've worked on education issues for most of my career and testified here more times than I can count. I'm confused about why you would consider voting for House Resolution 1006. What's not to like about the proposed amendment? It's fairly simple and it's short. It does 3 essential things to ensure that every Arkansas child has access to a high-quality education. Who could be opposed to that? I have a small 2x2 card that explains the amendment that I'd like to share with you if you give that permission. I'm happy to pass these out at the end. Okay, I'll do it when I'm done testifying.
We cannot do that. So.
Oh, well, I brought it. If you'd like it, I'd be happy to give you one. And I'd also be happy to collect the signatures of anybody who'd like to sign the petition, put this on the ballot for voters this November. That's what this is all about, right? So the first thing the measure does is ensure access to 4 of the most effective, proven boosts to learning that we know of. We meaning the academic research of quality education. It provides quality special education. It provides after-school and summer programs. It provides support for kids in poverty, and it provides pre-K for all 3- and 4-year-olds. The second thing the measure does is it establishes educational minimum quality standards for future generations in the Arkansas Constitution. These standards are identical to the standards that we have today as dictated by the Arkansas Supreme Court in the Lakeview decision. The third and final thing the measure does is it creates a level playing field and equal standards for all publicly funded, taxpayer-supported schools. The measure is nonpartisan. It's not an attack on learns. All education issues have tended to be nonpartisan until recent years, which is unfortunate. The measure polls at 76% support with Republicans, 77% support with independents, and 78% support with Democrats. We are not here to make this a partisan issue. Our campaign, though, has faced multi-million-dollar opposition full of deceptions and mistruths. I'd be happy to respond to any of those if you wish to talk about them. We've invited our opposition to debate numerous times, publicly and civilly, but so far our opposition has refused to debate us. Why is this amendment necessary? Why are we proposing this? In short, because the politicians in Arkansas, not just this generation, but 4 generations, has failed to give Arkansas students what they need to have the opportunity to learn that they deserve. Let's take special education, for instance. The state is woefully failing our most vulnerable kids and families. The state's own assessment in 2017 was that you are underfunding special education by hundreds of millions of dollars. Instead of meeting that need, though, the legislature passed tax cuts for the wealthy and the powerful numerous times since then, while saying we have no money to help those kids. Look at the poverty funding to help low-income kids learn. The single biggest predictor of student success, far and away more powerful than anything else, is family income. And Arkansas ranks #1 in the country for child poverty. We are simply not doing nearly enough to help kids in need succeed at school. Look at after-school and summer programs. Research tells us that this is one of the most powerful, proven ways to boost student learning. Arkansas created the framework for a statewide system in 2009 for after-school and summer programs, yet has never invested a single penny, not one, of state dollars into after-school and summer programs. Likewise, pre-K, one of the closest things we have to a magic bullet to boost student learning, has been flat funded since 2009. While our lawmakers have not invested in what we know works, they have squandered hundreds of millions on the failed strategy of unaccountable voucher programs. This isn't an opinion, this is the academic body of research. Nearly every single peer-reviewed objective analysis of voucher programs in other states shows that they actually lower student performance. They actually lower, there's not many things you can do that will actually lower student performance. They do. And again, I'm happy to share that data with you. In some cases, vouchers have had a bigger negative impact on student learning than hurricanes, other natural disasters, or disasters like the COVID-19 pandemic. And again, I can show you those numbers, and I'm happy to do so. We simply must hold this program in Arkansas accountable for results and ensure that it is transparent to lawmakers and their families as they make choices. In closing, I ask if the Arkansas legislature is going to start telling Arkansas voters how to vote on every single issue that comes before them. It seems to be the path that we're on. And so with that, I respectfully would be happy to answer any of your questions. And there's a lot of fake information about this measure. We are extremely confident in our facts, and I'm happy to discuss any of it.
Representative Barker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I heard you say you're the treasurer.
Yes, ma'am.
So since it was brought up earlier, would you happen to have any study or numbers on what the amendment ballpark would cost?
No, ma'am. We have a team of economists that are working on it. We are a grassroots effort. We just haven't had the millions of dollars that our opposition has had. So we are working on an estimate. It will be out before voters vote on it. Right now, we are solely focused on collecting 91,000 signatures by July 5th from 50 counties, and that is 100% of our focus. There will be an estimate. We appreciate it is going to cost some money. I will, though, if I can elaborate a little further, it's also an investment. Investment in early childhood education has a 9-to-1 return. Investment in after-school and summer programs is known to have a 4-to-1 return. Investments in special education is known to actually save the state money because you're not having to pay for extra costs later as those kids age. So there's money savings there. And then I would also argue that investing in things like early childhood education, special education, helping kids in poverty get an adequate education is far more effective use of state dollars than a $450 million tax cut that's on top of $1.5 billion in tax cuts that have been passed by this legislature over the past 15 years. It's also a far more effective investment than the projected more than $300 million in costs for the voucher program as it extends. And I'll point out that every single voucher program across the country, everyone has blown the budget estimates out of the water as they've rolled forward, and this program is destined to do the same. That was a long answer, but I appreciate you listening to me.
Any other questions for the committee? Don't see anything, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
Next, we have